Hey folks, welcome to the stream. Good evening all. And from earlier on, we haven't got a lot done, but we have got a couple of things done. And the first thing being that we now have our buttons that we can now basically change. Okay, so there we go. Now I've added this interact button because we might use it for like maybe opening doors or maybe for breaking the wood or for using a teleporter. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but it's going to be available to us anyway. And what we're going to do now is we are going to bring this in to the same point as our other items. Okay, so with all that in mind, we are going to open up our bindings and we're going to get to the correct thing here. And I believe because this is size to content, it's actually going to be in our bindings setting, right? So you'll notice that this horizontal box, we should have an offset right of, what was it, 650, I believe. If we check this out, yeah, it was 650, right? So now, if we go to our options and key bindings, you'll notice now that this and we're going to have to move this as well, right? And then we're going to have to take off this hotbar bindings because we've not got a hotbar. Actions, movement, and basically we can remove these. Yes. Okay. So we're gradually getting there. Okay. And now in our options, we've got this scroll box and the offset on this is going to be 650 as well. And now that we've done that, we can stop this. And that's all okay. And we are actually going to set that back up to there. And there we go. Okay. So we're happy with that. We've not got gameplay settings yet, but we'll set that up. So for our options to work, there's going to be a couple of things we need, right? And we've got something here which is basically our game instance, and we're going to need some save data as well. Now so we're going to type in save game, select that, and I suppose we'll call it save game underscore chronicles. And now what we're going to have is in our game instance, we're going to have like different variables for this. And what we're actually going to do here now is create a struct. And we're going to call it save game. And then this is what we're going to load in when we start the game, or we're going to look for a save game struct, and we're going to set it to default to start with, right? So we're always going to load it in and then save it, and then we're going to reset it when we load the game if there's already a saved game. And we're going to need these in here, right? So we're going to have to create a variable here, and it's going to be, we're going to say game instance, right? And this is going to be GI underscore and it's actually called Chronicles. right? So this is going to be our game instance. Now remember what a game instance is, guys. A game instance is basically the only thing that transfers between levels, okay? So we may not need this, but we certainly probably do. Now, the thing here is to think of what we're actually going to save, right? Or what we're going to load. So that's going to be from our options, right? Now, a lot of these we actually don't need to save them. These ones we do, right? The display one we don't. You'll set that in the options, and these as well. Our key bindings are automatically saved, and our gameplay ones, right? So we're going to need two structs, one for audio, one for gameplay, okay? So we're going to create a blueprint, and it's going to be a structure. It's going to be struct underscore game audio. Okay, we're going to keep these fairly simple. We're not going to use any mixers or any of that stuff. We're just going to have a music volume, effects volume, and a master volume. Okay, and then we're going to create another one, and it's going to be struct underscore game play settings. Now this is going to be like your inverted X and Y, like your mouse moving left and right and stuff, if you want it to be inverted. And basically your what do you call it, like easy mode or whatever, if you wanted to set that, right? So in our audio, we're going to have master. These are all volumes, right? And they're going to be floats. Okay. And this is going to be FX. And music. And that is basically going to be it. And we're going to be setting our audio volumes in the options, and then basically we'll be saving them, right? We'll be saving them in here, and we'll be saving them to a save game file. So what we're going to do is, when we set these and you click on like the save button, it's going to save them to the save game, and it's going to pass them to the instance. Okay, so it's going to update the instance and the save game, right? So in our instance, we're going to have audio settings, right? And it's going to be struct game audio. Okay, and that's in our instance. And in our save game, we're going to have the same thing. So we'll put audio settings. And that's going to be struct game audio. And while we're at it, we'll just do gameplay. We'll just get these set up while we're at it. This is going to be struct gameplay settings. Save that. And then also in here, we'll have gameplay settings. And anything that we want to put in our gameplay settings, we're going to have in here. That's going to be struct gameplay settings. Okay. So basically now, we can have our different gameplay settings and audio settings passed across the levels and saved in a save game file. Then we can basically, when a person starts a game up, it either writes the defaults if there's not a save game, but if there is a save game, then we basically load that save game values. And the same will happen for our gameplay settings, and everything else is basically handled by Unreal Engine. So we'll let that do its thing regarding the gameplay stuff, or the display stuff and the resolution stuff and all that. Okay. And that's all good stuff. So the next thing we're going to do is actually bring up, as I said, there's no point in reinventing the wheel if you've already invented the wheel. So I know for a fact that I have this stuff in this particular project. So I'm going to load this project up. We're going to have a look at it, and we're going to take the code as we require. Okay. And I actually think we need a lot more variables in our options, but we shall add them as necessary. Let's put it that way. So, how are you guys doing out there in internet land tonight while we wait on this to load? Let me know what you guys are working on or what you're doing. If you're working in Unreal, or you're working in Unity or Godot or some other thing, let me know. And we have a widget here called sound, and it actually doesn't do anything, which I'm not surprised at. Right. Okay. So, what we have here is we're going to have quite a few functions. Make, and save sound struct. Okay. And we're going to copy this, we're going to paste it, and we're going to delete that. In fact, we're going to undo that. Right, that goes in there, which is fine. We are going to cast this to GI Chronicles, and that's going to be set audio settings. Okay, so we'll just gradually go through this and basically replace things as we go. I'm looking at another project on the other screen at the moment, so if I don't answer a question or react to somebody, I'm sorry, but I can't see any messages at the moment. Right, so we're going to need another variable, and it's going to be saved game, and it's going to be SG Chronicles. Right. Then we're going to get saved game, and we're going to set audio settings. We're going to delete this. We're going to plug this in here. Right. And this is going to be make struct game audio. Okay. And then we're going to get master, we're going to get FX, we're going to get music, and then we're going to plug this in here. And the funny thing is, we can just basically plug that in there as well. Then we're going to change this, right? Because this isn't going to be the name of our save game. So we're going to say Chronicles of a Vampire Hunter. Okay. And this save game is going to go in there. And that is us. Okay. Now, there is a little bit more to it than that. Is this going to compile? I do hope so. Oh, something weird's going on here. I'm going to bring up the task manager for this because something's went weird. Something's went a bit wonky. I think yeah, this has just died. Okay, so we're going to have to end the task here. We're going to have to open it up again. That's a weird one. Oh, I can tell you it's nobody interesting who's looking at my stuff on LinkedIn. I can tell you that for a fact. Right. So, going well so far. Let's see how bad a crash we got. Not that bad. We'll cancel that. Now, what do we have in our blueprints? We still have that. We still have all that. So that's okay. We've got our game instance, but we've not got our save game. Okay. So I am guessing that we don't have our two variables in here. No, we don't. We do not. So that's a bit of a bummer. In the meantime, we'll save all, right? Just to make sure that that's all right. So this is basically audio settings, right? And that's struct game audio. Now you'll notice that we didn't actually have our gameplay setting either. We've got player stats, but we don't have a struct for our gameplay settings. Right, so what we'll do in the first instance is that's okay. And we'll just put something in here, right? We'll just say like def difficulty, just as a, we'll change this, if we actually set this, we'll change it to an enum, right? And did I save all that? Control Shift S, right, okay, whatever. Right, so in our game instance, we're going to have to set these up again. So we've set up the audio settings and gameplay settings. And that's going to be struct gameplay settings. Save that. Save all. And then in here, we're going to set the same two things up. So this is audio settings, and that's going to be struct audio settings or game audio. Compile that. Then we create another one and we say gameplay settings. And we change this to struct gameplay settings. We save that. Save all. And then we go to our HUD, main menu, options. We go into our options. We close this, into our graph, click here, and we say game instance, and that's going to be GI underscore Chronicles. Then we add another one, which is going to be saved game, and that's going to be SG Chronicles. We're going to save that. We're going to save all. We're going to go back to our event graph. Right, and once again, I'm going on to another screen, so if I don't answer you, don't get mad with me. We need the event graph, right? And in here, I'm going to add a function called make and save sound struct. I'm going to save that, save all. Then we're going to copy that. We're going to paste it in here. Okay. And we're going to cast to GI Chronicles. And set audio settings. Delete that. Delete that. Pull this over. It's going to go there. This is going to get deleted. And we're going to go saved Get save game. Audio settings, we're going to set them. And that is going to go in there. That is going to be Chronicles of a Vampire Hunter. We don't need a return node. Okay. Delete that. Make struct game audio. Then we plug these back in here. Right? That goes in there. That goes in there. I'm going to save it. Then do a save all. Then, whoopsie. We're going to plug this in. And save all. Okay. And we're basically going to do this when they are on the sound settings and they hit save, right? So we have that. So this is basically apply. Okay. So if we go to our designer and our display, sorry, if we go to our audio, right, we should basically we should have like an apply or something here. Right? So we kind of need something here. An apply or a save button or something. Right? Whether or not I mean, we can basically make it here if we want. Right? We can say apply. Right? And we basically delete that, delete that, delete that. then duplicate that. Then we can say cancel. Right, now I'm just wondering here, if I do a fill on this, alright, let's fill in at 35%, right? So I'm guessing if I put like a spacer, in like here, and we put 35, right? And basically what we could do here so we could say button or audio apply, and button close. Actually, you know what? We don't need a button close. All we need is an apply. Alright. And if we duplicate that and put it above that, oh, okay, that wasn't the best way to do it. It should actually go in here. And then this text should go there, right? Hi, paper slipper. I'll just call you Paper, okay? Hi, Paper. Right, so basically what we've got now is our button to apply. We don't want these to change at all. Right? But we are going to be using these. Right? So our question is, what's the difference between this one and the other ones? And it's this button here that's the issue. So that's box, box, box. And that's got padding. button. Yeah, they've got padding as well. Right, we're not going to worry too much about that. We're just wanting things to work at the moment. Right, so we're going to say on clicked make and make and save sound struct. Okay. So there we have it for our very first attempt. And you know what? That's utter crap. Right? Utter crap. We should not have the game instance in the save game in this menu at all. Don't know what I was thinking, but I was thinking the wrong thing, obviously. Right? It should actually be in our menu controller. Right? So game instance, and that's going to be GI it's not going to be that, it's going to be GI Chronicles, right? And we're going to have another one, and it's going to be saved game, and that's going to be called SG Chronicles. Right? And when we come into options, we're going to do the thing that we normally do, which is basically get the controller and so we're going to get the player controller and we're going to cast to Chronicles, which is the main menu Chronicles. Okay. I'm going to move this along a bit. And the next thing we're going to say is promote to variable, and it's going to be controller, and we're going to go in there, and now in here, right, we're not going to get this or this. What we're going to do is we're going to set it in the controller. So we're going to get the controller and we're going to say game instance we don't need to do that, right? and we say that's the target. We save that, we drag this over, and you'll notice that this has become instantly tidier. Right? And then the next thing we're going to do is get a controller and get save game. And there. And then this is going to go here. And we're going to save that. And then in our options, we can basically delete that. And then we can delete that. Okay. And that is now all working nicely, or at least it should. And there we go. So that's the first part done. And on that, I'm going to go and grab myself a cigarette. So if you're enjoying the stream, hit like and subscribe. Check out the description for the Discord and ways you can support from as little as $2 a month on Patreon. And you can check out my previous game, which is a tower defense game called FTD2, and it's on Steam. I shall be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys. Okay guys, we are back and ready to carry on with this. So we're making our struct here and saving it, and what we're going to have to do in the meantime is when we load up our controller, we're going to have to check for a save game, and if it's not there we're going to have to write it, etc, etc. So that's what we're going to do at some point, but in the meantime we're working on our gameplay options here. Right now, where was I? Oh yeah, designer. Right. Will we have a bit of fun, guys? Will we have a bit of fun? That is the question. And if your answer to that was yes, then you're in luck. Because here comes Mixamo. We're going to refresh this. It's probably going to make us load in again or something. Okay. And that's the wrong one. And it's VH1. Right, we'll load this in. And we're going to look for like a music or something. Something to do with music or shouting, right? Something that exudes sound, shall we say. And once we've done that, we'll probably import it and try it out. Just a little bit of fun for fun's sake, basically. Fun for fun's sake. And I'm trying to think of what's the other one. Is displaying visuals. I can think of one. Come on. Do your thing. Oh, what? Right. We're going to do this one more time, right? Now, if we have a problem here, we're just going to look for something. And by looking for something, I mean we'll just have a search in Mixamo and see if there's anything that we get. Okay? Something that might interest us, shall we say. Now, what I was thinking of was like for displayer visuals, you know how when you're peering out into the distance, you put your hand up over your forehead. I was looking for something like that for like displaying visuals, right? Or at least that was the idea. We're getting the bots tonight again. Okay, so it seems to have worked this time. Right. Xander plays. Which one has less lag, Unreal or Unity? What do you mean by lag? Do you mean network lag? Do you mean gameplay lag? What do you mean? You shall need to specify. Right, so what we want here is looking. That's the very one. Like longer to start a project. I still don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean by that? Do you mean to have something up and running, or do you mean literally pressing start project and it's got something on the screen for you? I kind of don't understand what you're saying there. Right, we're going to download this, and it's going to be without skin. Download. And the other one was Shout. But I don't want shooting arrow. Right. Now, I don't know how this ends up doing stuff like this. I mean, I typed in shout. I wonder how that actually looks. Playing the violin. Xander, you'll need to be a little more specific with your question. That might actually work. I'm going to download this. Without skin, go. Okay, but I'm still looking for a shout, even though apparently we can't get a simple shout without her sitting down in the first place. Right. So we're going to have to go back to page 1 and see what we've got at the top of the page. See, she's sitting down. That's not really, you see, again, Sitting, sitting, sitting. Sitting again. Let's call that shouting. And is that, I'm guessing that's going to have brought the same thing. Yeah, she's sitting again. Well, say look, and this is the one we want. Right, and we downloaded that, which is fine. And this is looking as well. That doesn't quite go. I wonder what's in the basic gestures pack. I wonder if the basic gestures pack is just a mix of these type things. Yeah, that's just a pose. Okay. Right. We've got our two things. So we'll show in folder. And we want looking. So we're going to drag them into the correct place, which is in player model, vampire, this one. Downloads, drag these in. VH1, import all. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is have a state for him. And we can say looking. And violin. Okay. We can save that. And then we'll look at our animation blueprint. We go to our machine. And we can pull them down a bit. going to add a state called violin, and we're going to drag that back in. Then we're going to drag another one out, and we're going to say looking, and then we're going to drag that back in. Then we're going to do our violin first. And that's wrong. Right. Save that. We know. Don't worry, we know. Current state, get current state equals violin, go. Okay, and our best thing here we can do is copy that and this is violin to idle, so we paste that, plug that in, set it to idle, then idle to looking, paste that, change it to looking, plug it in there, save that, and finally we paste that, change it to idle, and put it in there. Okay. If you're still watching, Xander, it takes about the same time for either or, Unity or Unreal Engine to start a project. It's about, after you've downloaded it, about 5 minutes. Right, now when we come in here, right, we get our player controller and basically current is it? Interesting. Right, that's the scrolling stuff. So basically we need to look at our HUD again. Main menu. Graph. And we're getting the main menu. So we do have this. Right, so if we copy that and we go to options, paste that, and I believe get that, then mesh, then that will do the same thing for us. So basically when we come in here, we're going to set it to violin because it's going to be set to audio, right? So basically when we hit options, huh, he should start playing the violin. Okay, we'll do that again. Right, options, violin, so if we look at here, resume, it's saying idle. It's got new numerator 9. Okay, so there's something not saved somewhere. Right, we're going to do a save all. Right, resume. I'm going to have to turn off the mic for a second. So we're going to have to look at this because this isn't right. We're going to save that. Right, and this definitely was okay. Yep, that's okay. But for some reason, the state machine wasn't quite working right. Right, so that's setting the current state properly. And the thing is, that our current state ain't the right thing. Aye, Post and Ghosts. That is weird. Have I done these the wrong way round or something? Let's have a look. Well, it depends what your laptop is, Post and Ghosts. Idle. And depends also what version of Unreal Engine you're running as well. Because Unreal Engine 5 makes my computer run 10 degrees hotter. I know, that's fine. Right, so that's all very strange. This is all very, very strange. Right? This should work. Now, I can only assume I'm going to try something else, right? We're going to try one more thing. I'm going to get our main menu, right? Because this is weird. Right? And we've got this mesh, which is BP-char-M. And what we can do is basically get this, right, and then go to options, then create a variable and call it mesh, and call it BP that wasn't it. Or was it? No, it's not. BP-char-M. BP-char okay, and then when we come in here, we're going to paste that and we're going to plug that in there. We're going to delete this and let's see if this works. Alright, Right. Hang on. Is this actually working but playing some weird one? Or is it something to do... No. It's definitely the right one. Right, that's a weird problem. I'm going to assume it's something to do with the main menu. Right? The main menu is constantly resetting it or something. Now, where am I using the main menu about? The only place I'm using it is here. Right? So, what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to actually remove it. Okay? So basically what we're going to do is we're going to drag this in, get it, and just as a little test we're going to remove from parent, right, and we're going to plug that in there, we're going to plug that in there, then we're going to do that, and we're going to plug this directly into here and see if it makes a difference to if our animation is going to play or not. We'll just and apparently not. Well, that is bloomin' weird. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do, right? What we'll do is we'll stop this and we're going to get mesh, anim instance, get the anim instance, right? And then we're going to set current state, and let's say to looking. Right, so if I click on display, this should work. But it doesn't. But it doesn't. Okay. Well, that's bizarre. Well, we're definitely changing it. Right, I'm going to stop this for now. And we're going to do a print string. I'm just going to check to see if it actually goes in here, right? That's my point of why I'm checking this. I'm wondering if this is actually not doing this. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the charge. We'll save that and press play again. Right, so it should have went to violin, but it didn't. And now it should go to here, but it didn't. And it did say hello, so it actually did run this code, but for some reason our animation blueprint is not playing ball. Right, now let's have a look at this, right? The interesting thing is, it doesn't really show us if that's running or not. So that is a really weird thing that's going on there. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to restart this project. I'm going to close the previous project as well. And we're going to see where we go with this. Options. And it's still not doing it. It hits the hello, but it doesn't set this. Alright. Which is really weird. Right, there's one thing that we need to do here that we need to check. Right, if we go into options, right, and we're definitely setting this. Right, I'm going to add a breakpoint there, and we're going to press play so that I know if we're actually setting this or not. And we are. And that is an animation instance. And we are setting it to clapping. Right? That is absolutely bizarre. No doubt about it. And on that, I think I'm going to close up for the night. I've got to run to the shop, so if you've watched and enjoyed the stream, hit the like and subscribe. Check out the description for my Discord, and also you can support the channel on Patreon, and you can check out my previous game on Steam. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow at 2 PM Central. Bye bye for now.